All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Just hit 5,000 subscribers, so before we hop into this, wanted to say big thank you to you guys. The channel's growing, things are moving in the right direction. So obviously the big goal was 10,000 at the end of this year. That'll be kind of pushing it unless something kind of blows up. So if you guys are stumbling across this video, make sure you like it, subscribe. But anyway, while we're here, actually before we get into some stuff, SPELAB guys, their link's gonna be in all my description to all my videos. Intake horn's sick, no complaints. I'm also running their 4-inch and their grid heater delete. I'm going to be getting an intercooler from them and a few other pieces too. If you guys are wondering if they're worth the money, answer your question, save you a bunch of money, and it's only at half the cost. So I'd highly recommend it. What we're doing now is, this truck is on a 2G swap. This truck is on a 2G swap. It's been on this for about 8 months now. Give you a quick rundown before I hop into this. This is a 464 black market performance one-piece manifold. It's actually their whole kit. Overall pretty good kit. It's not like over the top, it's not under, it's overall pretty good. So pretty happy with that. Now it's time to add some fuel to this thing, and we're gonna try to show you guys how to do this as easy as possible. So it's in the back of my bed here. This is their sump. This is the no drop kit. It's got it FASS engraved, all your fittings, electrical connector, which is super simple to understand. They sent me black hose. We just did a video, you guys, if you guys follow the channel, you'll see they sent my brother blue hose. I know this is stupid, but I think the blue hose looks better. I think that blue stuff looks a little ricer, I guess. And then this is what's in your box. You got brackets, filter, and then obviously the pump itself. Also, something else I'll mention, the paperwork that comes in here says time sensitive information. You do only have 30 days to register this. I need to do that as of today because I'm probably about 10 days, 15 days shy. I don't know what happens when that expires, but I also don't want to find out. So anyway, first part guys we're going to get into is we're going to be running the wiring, which is going to be super easy. I'll get this out of the packet and walk you guys. I'm kind of working, probably should set you up on a GoPro, but the wiring portion is super easy. You got to crimp these two on. Green's your negative, red's your power. They give you a 10 amp fuse. This has a nice little cover right here that I'm going to slide over top of that. This goes in this will be in the engine bay portion. And you have a relay right here, which put a little dialect grease, which they give you right there and here, and then they give you, it's kind of hard to show with one hand, but they give you a nice little cover to put over that relay. Keep it out of the climate, keep it out of the weather, which is nice, especially considering where this is going to live, which the distance off of the top part, maybe some of the relay is actually in the bay. I hope it is. That'd be nice, kind of keep it a little bit better than under. And then your back connectors right up here, these all go back by the fuel tank themselves. So I'm gonna pop this over this, make sure that relay's on there good, and we'll get in the engine bay. First two places I'm not gonna wire it up yet, but I am gonna start looming it through the bay, or through the truck, and I'm gonna start in the engine bay. All right guys, I'm gonna do a little bit better of a job here in a second and show you how I exactly have that loomed. I did start in the engine bay and I came all the way back. So here's your back mount, and I'm up over the frame rail running on the inside of your def tank, your fuel tank, pretty much in line with your stock fuel. So pretty much ready to connect this now on top, which is up there. I think my best bet's gonna be to get to it on the other side. And I'll show you guys, I need a deburring tool, which my brother has, waiting for that to come here. But I drilled the hole, it's already done. There's the, that's how much fuel came out of the tank. So it wasn't a whole lot actually. I actually had it pretty low, but the hole saw, it's a 3 3/4 size if you're wondering what to do. Just do your best to center it, guys. If you're a little off, it's really not the end of the world. And now that bolt right there is where I'm going to mount my bracket to, and that's an 18mm. So let me go ahead, get that set up, and show you guys how the bracket's gonna look. All right guys, so I got the bracket in. The factory bolt, the bed bolt to come out, by the way, sorry, let me stabilize this. My hand is so shaky, sorry about that. is an 18 millimeter. The aftermarket bolt that they give you is a 19. I'm not really sure that I care about those lines that rub against that. Sorry, I'm trying to stabilize this a little bit better and give you guys a little bit better of a view. Not really sure that I care about those def lines that are rubbing against it. I guess I'll see if I care that much. But anyway, the bracket's in. It does come with a rubber insulator, which is on top. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Hopefully you can. Make sure you put that in there. That stuff is, those rubber insulators is crazy how much these things don't move when they get tight against that. I don't know what material that is, but crazy. That's how it was on my brother's 3rd gen as well. So now, fun part, we're gonna get back to, let's get back to the bed here. And now we actually gotta start getting the pump ready. There's a fitting that's gonna go into the back here. I need to pull it out and I will show you. But we are running down on parts here, so it's always a good sign. This other rubber insulator is going to go on this. This is my bracket. So we're getting there, guys. I'm just gonna keep plugging away. These bolt holes here are gonna be for the actual pump to bolt to this. And then these sliders gives you all that adjustment for where you want this thing to hang at. So let's get it. All right, guys, we're gonna show you what's going on here. Connector for the pump. I have the bracket on, the spacers, you can see them. All the same. These bolts are 11 millimeters here. You did have to put these fittings on. O-rings go on the inside. Fitting here, O-ring goes on the inside. Basically, I am to the point now to where I should be able to crawl under this and mount this up. For me, it is dinner time with the family, so I'm going to take a short little break and get right after it. But realistically, that's where you guys should be at this point. Before I get under there, I'm going to read the instructions just to make sure, but I'm probably going to include, put these on outside before I get under it, because that would make way more sense than doing it the other way. So anyway, yep, just plugging away, guys. All right, guys, so finally gonna get under the truck here in just a second and finally mount this with the supplied hardware over here. But I'll run you down real quick. If you're curious about the mounting points, I will say this one in particular, I guess the material of this or something, it needed kind of a little bit of guidance to start, and then obviously it threaded fine, so just a little complaint, I guess. Got my 90 push lock, my straight push lock, another straight push lock. Now when you're at this point here, you should have a 90 left, a straight push lock, and the red bag is for your CP3. So we're not to that point yet, so there's no point to really talk about that. And if you're wondering in the back what these are for, these go into the sump here, okay? So guys, finally getting under here. Let's get this thing mounted up and show you guys what it's looking like. All right, guys, wrapping up tonight. No, not finished yet. You can see, got some stuff I need to tidy up here with the relay. I ran the power from here and on top of there for the negative. But anyway, to the back. Show you guys all the sweet progress. I got the pumps covered up because I do not have filters or fuel, but you can see they got the sump hooked up. This is the direction that we thought that would be the best to point to it. I'm going to show you guys more whenever I get the fuel lines hooked up to this, but I just didn't want anything to fall in there. Just didn't want the risk, but that's where we are for tonight. So finishing up, guys. I haven't been filming as much as I would like to. Let me crawl under here and show you guys. Nothing secured, so keep that in mind. Biggest part that I decided to route my lines was up against the tank, and then I came over that way. I just feel like with the suspension on these, if you would have leafs, it would be worlds easier, but due to the fact they have these coil style rear ends, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. So I haven't like zip tied anything. I did get the sump in, torqued it down, 12 foot-pounds per their instructions, and I actually have all the lines ran. I'm ready to go ahead and grease the inside of that right there. They say turn it on and go ahead and spray some WD-40 in there, which I'm about to do. They say be very liberal with it, so I'm going to do that. I've already heard the pump turn on, and then I have my lines, which you guys can see. Very loosely ran to the front. And while I'm here on the video, I hope this stuff helps you guys. Down on my CP3, you can see I have the fitting that they supplied. Please focus. There we go. The fitting that they supplied and the push lock. There's like no pressure on the factory one, at least mine wasn't. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't be like too aggressive. And I did route my fuel lines up through the inside of my fuel rail. Okay. So let me get the filters on, and then should be able to realistically see if we have leaks. All right, guys, I can't take credit for all this, but I'm gonna show you guys. Give me a second. So I'm putting the key in the ignition. It's really hard to do with one person, but I watched this off a Greg A video, and it made a lot of sense to me. If you prime the key right here, now I've already done this like 3 or 4 times to actually get the prime in it, but see how that's shooting that stuff out. And then I'm gonna pull this out of here. And the reason that Greg A did that, the reason I watched this video and the reason I'm telling you guys to do that is because when you're messing around underneath these trucks and stuff, there is so much debris and things that you're messing with that you're really trying to not get. So I did that a couple times. It's not like a whole bunch that came out, but it's enough. So now I'm gonna run this line to the CP3 and then actually give it its first start and check for all leaks. But so far, no leaks, but the system is primed. Once I hook this up, should be good to ride. All right, guys, so finished it all up, took it for a drive, actually went to the gym. It's all done, don't have any leaks, don't have any problems with it. It's super quiet. I actually can show you guys a video of how quiet it is. Looking back on it, I'm gonna show you guys, if probably the hardest thing I would have to say, let me set my shaker down. Hardest thing I'd have to say is the wiring connector that's underneath that. We did my brother's 3rd gen, and that is like super easy. This is very difficult. You have to go on the other side of the drive shaft close to the exhaust and kind of like crawl your body up in there to get that connector out. Very difficult, probably took the most amount of time. Everything else is like pretty easy. How you route your lines is on you. I kind of wish FASS would have like given you like the best possible option. Like, hey, if you route your lines this way, it's the best way. I kind of routed mine the best way that I thought. I'll show you guys up in the bay, and then I'll show you guys back up. See the new fuel line. I routed it up against the frame rail, and then it's coming in there. And then the wiring, man, they barely give you enough. They give you like enough fuel line to do this, like just enough. And then the wiring is like enough to do an insane amount. But I'll show you guys. This is just if you have questions. I need to clean up the zip ties and stuff. I'm actually gonna get those insulators. If you know what I'm talking about, they go around like both of them. But anyway, routed my lines just pressed up against there. And then this is literally how my lines look. So I'm gonna get some insulators just to make sure that, I don't know, I don't think they'll rub through, but it's better safe than sorry. So this is just a clean mock-up just to go for a drive, to make sure everything was good. I actually really like how quiet this is. So huge shout out to FASS. Guys, if you have any questions, the goal is always to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you have any questions, please comment below, subscribe, and let's keep posting the content.